good morning, good evening, good lunch, good breakfast, good dinner, whatever you're eating right now, whoever you're hanging out with right now today. This is the guest I've been waiting to tell you guys about. I'm so amped up. The crying in the background is not me, it is my dog. So if you hear any, like, oh, it's the dog. And you all have seen her. All right. This gentleman is one of my all-time favorite uber super cool actors on any films of any kind, Mr. Bill Oberst Jr. So nice to have you here.
Auntie, thank you for the nice words. And I want to apologize to you if you hear any like leaf blowery stuff. I swear to God, it was completely silent out here like 5 minutes before we started. And then I hear, I
That,
hate those damn things. What happened to rakes that you hold in your hand?
that's the first
And
thing
you,
I bought when I bought my
and
house
you,
was a regular rake.
good, and you get the rhythmic there's something like we want to do everything the quickest way so we can get it over with. But
Right?
a lot of times, I think that the point of just about everything in life is the doing and not the getting it done. It's the
Right.
doing of it.
Right? It's the journey, not the destination. Exactly.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't mean you want to get down with scissors and like clip the grass,
I don't know. There's days.
but maybe, but like the big giant ass, riding mowers where the guy stands up and it's like, I don't know, everything is so like RoboCop.
Right? You got a quarter of an acre. Why you want a deer?
Yeah,
It's
where's the analog? I'm
right?
saying let's show some love to the analog.
Exactly. Be back in vinyl like the rest of us.
Yeah.
As we're sitting here. Oh, and by the way, I wore these earrings especially for you, sir.
I
These are
love them.
my guillotine earrings. I wear those for my political chats for no apparent reason. And
And I'm wearing my retro Walt Disney World t-shirt because I'm a Disney freak.
oh, that's so cool. Oh, really? Okay. We're gonna have a we're gonna have so many chats because you and I have a lot in common. First of all,
Freak.
we are the same generation of human beings. We're like,
Disney freak.
how many
Really,
times have you been to
really,
Epcot? How many times have you
Auntie,
been to Disney?
Auntie, I am so upset that
What?
they're at Disney World that they're doing away with the Rivers of America, the riverboat,
Oh, I was
and
horrified about that.
Tom Sawyer Island, and all of that. They're just gonna like fill it in and put concrete over it and build a Cars Land.
Eh,
Like Mark Twain is Americana,
right?
and there. I know that it's like young people who are in charge and they're like nobody knows who Mark Twain is. Well, that's the whole point. Like
Pet peeve.
it teaches kids like this. So anyway, yeah,
Well, there's a
we went
reason
and
why we
rode
love that stuff.
we
We
went and
remember.
we rode the paddle boat for the last time earlier this year. So to get it before it was gone.
Mm,
But I know Walt would always want to be updating stuff,
yeah.
but there's the whole point was that it would be an escape. And Cars Land is not an escape.
They could
It's
have
just
tore down the Motel 6 across the street that nobody's been in 10 years. They could have done
thank
that.
it's just more intellectual property. It's like one of my pet peeves. Like if we have intellectual property, we have to use it.
Yeah.
Let's reboot again. Let's reimagine again. Stop. Have an original idea.
Right? Now, see, I lived in Vegas, for 12 years, and I was horrified by the fact that they don't embrace any history there whatsoever. And I, being
No.
from Boston, grew up
Yeah.
with the Revolutionary War literally in my backyard. Like you would
Yeah.
go in your backyard, play with the dirt, and you would pull up musket balls. And I still probably have a few of them around here. But you go to these places and it's like, what do you mean this is new houses? What's this new house stuff? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah. Totally.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm all about the history and the embracing of things that were wonderful and why were they wonderful. And when you said Mark Twain, hilariously, I won't say how many times I've married, but my last wedding, the second to last wedding. This is my last wedding. Second to last wedding. We had Mark Twain as our recited lines for the wedding. It's just everything was Mark Twain lines. So it's just there was no other way I could have done it.
I love it.
So,
I'm
unfortunately,
not going to ask what the hell from Mark Twain you found appropriate for your wedding,
so
Auntie.
much stuff. Stuff he wrote when he was in northern Nevada. Stuff when he was working in the newspapers.
Yeah,
Oh, so many. I'll send some of them to you offline. There's some of them are
awesome.
great. Yeah.
I played Mark Twain on stage for like 15 years, pretty much the show that Holbrook did. I ripped it off like everybody else. It was a very durable show. It's really good material.
You've let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about you here. You started as far as your theatrical life, it just doing stage work, playing Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, among other things, um,
Among other things.
among other
So
things.
my idea was, in particular, in history in general, but especially with Jesus, is that the people who teach you this stuff make it so boring. And history wasn't boring. Mark Twain wasn't boring. None of the people that I played are boring. And so I wondered, what would it be like if you could just hear this stuff directly from them? So I started doing solo shows as the person, using only their own words.
Wow, wow. Michael Sheen did an Easter pageant like that, where he in his there's this little town in Wales where he walked around and did the entire
Oh,
uh,
that's beautiful.
pageant, completely doing the last few days of Jesus, just being the character, and people coming up to him like they were in the town, giving him food and stuff. And he played it for 24 hours. It was gorgeous.
That is beautiful. I've done Twain. I've done John F. Kennedy. I've done a Southern humorist named Louis Grizard toured. I've done
You did Mom's
thousands,
Mabley?
uh, inadvisedly once as part of a as part of a tribute to stand-up comedy, old stand-up comedy, which I really love.
See, no, I wanted to hear about this specifically. Since 44 years in stand-up, I am curious. And some of the people you espouse are people that are my big heroes. You
So
didn't?
in that show, I
Yes.
did Woody Allen, and it was before the thing with his daughter, where that's all people could mention. I did his '60s stand-up comedy. I did Bob Newhart,
Who I adore.
his early routines. I did Rodney Dangerfield, the classic stuff. I did Carson, Karnak the Magnificent, and then I did a little Mom's Maple.
Ah, you didn't do it in full. No. But did you have the robe on?
No, I had the dress on and the hat, and as I was doing it, I realized that I should not be doing it, and not because it was offensive. I mean, I think I did a good Mom's Mabley, but the
Right.
audience was just puzzled. But
They
they were
didn't.
good. They were good with Newhart and Dangerfield and Carson. Auntie, I have bombed a lot on stage. Like, I've had some really great shows and I've had some really bad shows. I
Oh,
played Ray Bradbury most recently off Broadway, and that went well. But there were some shows that were eh. But then when you get it to the, you know what it's like you just get it, you get the routine to the point where, okay, this is it.
yeah.
And then
So
really for
polished.
me,
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I haven't done that show. COVID kind of killed it. And people are like, oh, aren't you sad, that it just went away? No, because I got it to the point where it was as perfect as it could be. And really, like, that was enough. Do you ever feel that way? Like, it doesn't matter if I do
Yes, if
this.
you push it too much more, it's going to be like, oh no, the
Yeah.
it's going from oil painting to crayons. I gotta get
So,
no, yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about with the movies, like, Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever it is. It's great. It's good. It's damn near perfect. Leave it alone
yeah.
and let it be a beautiful memory and move on to something else. But that's not what corporations do.
See, I had a band, and one of the laws was covers are for beds. Because if you couldn't do something original, I didn't want to talk to you. I just
Yeah.
had no time. It's
Yeah.
like, I've heard that song
And
before.
cover bands who people will only let do covers, they get disillusioned and sad. And then their covers start to suck.
Yeah, yeah. And then I was
Unless you're like a tribute band
well, see,
where
that was in Girl Jam for a while, and yeah, that was like that. It was like we're gonna be doing Pearl Jam as women.
that is awesome.
It was a lot of fun. So,
I saw way back in the day, I saw Beatlemania when it first came out. And it was really exciting because nobody had ever done the Beatles before. And then I
right.
saw it years later. as a touring, and it had really devolved to the point where it was
Caricature.
just it was just sucky. Yeah. So like there's an alchemy on stage, and sometimes you just can't keep on doing it without it disintegrating. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So here I am thinking about, like, I feel like I've talked to you like a million, I feel like I've known you a million years, you know.
Thank you.
Uh, when you were a little kid, you and I both have a lot in common there. I was the strange outcast weird kid who had the strange parents who did weird things because they got divorced. Um,
Oh
back in the
yeah,
60s. And I also was the family that had black people in our family. And we're Italian and Irish, and we had Lebanese neighbors and Irish neighbors and Italian neighbors and black
that's
neighbors.
great.
In Boston, though, it was very weird because this is in the 60s when everybody's like, "Oh no, we don't blend our Fruit Loops. We need our cherries over here and our oranges over here." You know, it was just yeah, that kind of weird. We had, but I was that kid that was always hanging out with the other kids that were odd and different and weird. Now I understand you also had a childhood where you kind of were ostracized and used humor to kind of pull out of that. What did you do?
Yeah, it took me a long time to find my group because I was different in just about every way you could be different. Rural boy, South Carolina. I was the fat kid, the sissy kid, the smart kid, the ugly kid because I had really bad acne at an early age. And it was so disfiguring that, like, I remember one guy in the school library just dropping by casually to say, and I quote, "Can't you do something about your face? It's making us sick." Close quote. So, when you're like, you're 7 and 8, you don't know how to deal with that shit.
No.
So, but my grandmother told me, my sweet grandmother, that God gives everybody something. You get a little something, you get a starter, like a starter for, uh, um, what do they use starter for?
But
Bread,
yes,
like the little
sourdough,
sourdough.
yes.
So God gives you a little bit of sourdough, a little something. And I was like, Mama, I can't do anything. And she said, there's something. So one day when kids were like shoving me up against the lockers, I did an imitation of our principal at our elementary school, and they loved it. And from then on, instead of shoving me around, I was their little performing monkey, which which I was happy to be. And I learned entertain people; they won't hit you. And
Right.
my whole career has been an extension of that.
That's what you
Um,
get, monkey boy.
But the weird thing is, like the people that bullied you years ago, it stuck with you for so many years,
Yes. And
but
they forget.
they don't even remember. Like
No.
they'll contact you on Facebook and say, "Hey, saw you and so and so, so and so. We went to school together." And I'm like, "Yes, I know that we went to school together. You handed me a condom long before I had any business knowing what a condom was. You told me it was a balloon, got me to blow it up, and I wondered why everybody was laughing. So
Oh,
yes, I know we went to school together, Judy.
yeah.
But but if you told them that, they would be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have no memory of that." Isn't that weird?
It is bizarre. Well, my sister to this day, she tells me I said things to her when I was 8 years old that I don't remember saying to her because I was 8 years old. You
Yeah, you're
said
8 years
I was
old.
ABC. I'm like, I don't know that.
It's
That was
like
an 8 year old talking to a 6 year old. I didn't know.
when your parents grow older and you still want to be the aggrieved child and they don't even remember the shit you're talking about.
Yes.
They're like,
Yeah.
"I said that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't." I'll go, "Yes, you did. I remember when you said it." "Oh, I'm
I
so
never hit
sorry.
you a day in my life. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, honey." And then that just like takes the wind out of your sails because you're like, "I'm so sorry, honey. That's it." So you got to let it go. You got
You
to
know how
let it
much
go.
therapy I had to pay for that?
Really? But so here's the thing, Auntie. What I think is that I've learned is that we are organic beings. We're not machines. We're not virtual. We are organic pieces of life, and we change,
Yeah.
always changing. So the mother, the bully, whoever it was, the person doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
In its place is a new person with the same name. You know, that's the way it is in any relationship. Like you got to commit not only the beginning of the relationship, but every damn day.
And yeah, that took me a lot of years to learn. A lot of years to learn.
Because yeah, people are different. You can't just come back to somebody you haven't talked to in 3 years and expect them to be the same because they're not.
And you're not. And you yourself are not the same person. And the fact that
So
you've grown. Yeah.
and so why do we keep making the same movie over and over again is what I want to know, particularly in the horror genre. Why are we not organic enough to change and grow? And it's why I admire directors who come up with new ideas and say,
Mm.
damn it, I want to make my movie. And I don't care if it's wildly commercial. I need to say this and I want to make my movie. Those are the ones that I burn to work with.
You do you've done, the amount of film you've completed in just 20 years' time. Astonishing.
And
Astonishing.
5 of them are good.
I'd say more than that.
5 of the 200.
Really? Which five are your favorite?
Will not say that, but I know in my mind which ones I can watch from beginning to end and go, A, this looks like a real movie.
Mhm.
B, I can hear it. And C, it's watchable and coherent and it surprised me a little.
See,
All
that's
those things have to happen.
there's so many films. I literally get up at because of the critters. I get up at about 5:30 in the morning, take care of them, do the thing. 6 o'clock in the morning, horror movies are on because the genre to me is a method of reaching into people's psychology in a way that other genres don't.
That's right.
There's humor. There's the fact that people get in touch with their own fears and what those fears are. Huge. And the newer or the most independent films are the ones I tend to watch the most.
Yeah.
So, and you pop up in most of them.
Well, I know somebody will write and go like, again, he's in that too. I'm like, sorry. But it's a mixed bag, right? It's like meeting a stranger on the bus or the subway or the street. It's a mixed bag, but if you don't engage, you don't know. There might be something wonderful there. If you
Yeah.
just shut yourself off and go, "Oh, I don't know this movie," or "I don't know this person," you don't know what you're missing out on. That's what life is. It's engaging.
Yes. Yes. It's not parasocial. It's interactively social.
Right.
And the whole, I mean, the antisocial movement, being a socialite. So, hi, this is Tribble. Hi.
Hey, hey, darling.
She's
Hey.
growling at the mailman. Now they're both gonna growl. Mohammed, you can feel
But
free to cut out the dogs barking if you want, but
no,
no,
Muhammad, you must leave them. That's
Mohammed,
it's
don't cut out the dog.
life. It's life.
She's being
And
independent.
so Auntie, like it takes so little. I'm amazed at how little it takes to feel connected to another person.
Yeah.
You pass a woman in the supermarket, you've seen her before, but you don't even hardly know her enough to nod. But if once you're in line and you make a comment and she makes a comment and you talk, just a little about the next time you're in the grocery store, Sue, and you're smiling and she's smiling, and it's only because you know a little about yourself.
Yeah.
It takes so little to do that. I just wish we did it more.
Do you find it, because I have a feeling you're as introspective as I am about a lot of things. Do you find that when people discover things about each other that are positive, they don't stay as long as the stuff that's negative? And I
Oh,
think,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
and they'll identify the person by the negative. Oh, that's the boy that blew up the condom.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
whatever
there's
it is.
pee pee pants. We remember pee pee pants from fifth
Oh
grade.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right. We do tend towards the negative, but it takes so little to make people smile, and then you smile and you feel better.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I'm all about positivity, but I don't think it's false positivity. I think the negativity, that's the bullcrap.
Hmm.
It's not the way we're supposed to live.
And
It's
it's too easy.
not it. It's just what comes most naturally. It's
Yeah,
like if you want to plant something, you got to dig up the soil.
yeah, yeah. I knew we'd get along great. I had a feeling we'd get along great.
You got
Um,
to dig up underneath your negativity.
yep.
I don't feel like it. It's I don't want to talk to them. I don't know them. Well,
Yeah.
bitch, If you spend a little time with them, you will know them.
Oh, look, the mask, it's coming off. There's a human being in there.
Exactly. But I think maybe we don't want to be human beings to each other. And that's so what I do in horror, my particular thing is I call it close proximity horror.
Mm.
Like I'm scary when I'm very close, like right
Yeah,
there.
which is that movie where well, there was three I think I could think of you as clowns, but one is specifically you're a clown that's like in people's faces. And one of the lines,
Yeah, that's Circus of the Dead, and he
Circus of the
drools.
Dead. Yes, the one line you say, "It's all over now. It's okay." It's like, oh, it's just in his face. It's just beautiful.
Drool, whisper, close proximity. And there's something, when people get too close, we're really, really frightened. But even if people get like just inside our comfort zone,
Mhm.
we become uncomfortable and we need to get over that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Being on stage doing stand-up, my whole life is about spilling out really personal things in a very funny way. Some of them is tragedy, some of them not so much tragedy, but just life, and some of it is just comedy because life is goofy. I think that's why I watch a lot of goofy, people watch cat videos, same kind of reasoning. It's
Yeah.
goofy, it's fun, it's light, it gets you out of your space for 5 minutes. But the reason I do what I do is because it puts you in the moment right then and there.
And that's so hard, isn't it?
It is hard, but even watching your films, watching how you perform, I watched the little bit of you at the Bray Bradbury Theater. You are in the moment, like in the moment. To
You
me,
gotta be.
as a viewer. Now, what's that like for you?
You have to be. It's like you're connecting with other people. If they'll give you their eyes, that's the greatest gift as a performer. If they'll give you your eyes.
Mhm.
And if they won't give you your eyes, you just have to think of somebody who will give you your eyes, and you do it for them. Yeah, you have to be like, and sometimes to get in the moment, to get out of your head, you can do things like, what do I touch? What am I touching right now?
Mhm.
The edge of this rocker. What does it feel like? The rough, the texture. What am I smelling right
I was
now?
gonna
What
say
am
you're
I?
outside. You've got the smell of the grass being mowed.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
it pulls you right back into where you are. But I'm not a good enough actor to be able to be out of the moment and then jump into it. I just kind of have to stay in it.
what? Where did you, when you were a little kid, did you act at all as a child, or was it just
Mm.
okay?
Not for any audience, but for myself. I had the Billy Show.
Yeah, sorry, kids are singing.
Oh no, that's all right. Yeah, the Billy Show ran almost every day.
Hmm.
Like I don't even remember how it started, but I would be like, "Hey, welcome to the Billy Show. We're gonna brush our teeth now." And I'd say, you want to be sure that you get the toothpaste. It's possible to squeeze too much, and then look, you get a little extra, but you could lick it off. It's okay. And then I like the whole thing, or whatever I was doing. I would do the Billy Show to amuse myself.
I would do my
And
own talk show. I would be pretending I was Johnny Carson, same kind of
that
thing.
is
Walk down
so
the street and
funny.
look at the stars and go, "Oh, look, that's Orion. I know what Orion is. Did you guys know
Yeah,
what
like
Orion
it's
was?"
like we're narrating our lives to other people.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
it's the
so
same thing.
naturally, yeah, I became a performer.
That's so wonderful. When's the first time you actually hit a stage?
It wasn't until high school. We had a really, really great drama teacher. Oh, she was so wonderful, Auntie.
Aw.
And so I had the opportunity to do a little play, and I went off script and improv, and the kids were laughing, and I thought I was going to get in trouble, but I didn't. And for the first time, I heard applause interrupt a line. Like you're in the middle of a line and you get applause in the middle of the line.
Wow.
And I was like, oh wow, oh wow,
That's
this is
good
making
candy.
this is making people really happy. How how do you do this? And what just happened? And so yeah, then I got interested in studying the mechanics of performing.
That's
There
wonderful.
and the timing is so delicate, isn't it?
Yeah, but the difference between "Hello, children, time to eat, children," as opposed to "Hello, children, time to eat, children." Yeah, whole different
Yes,
conversation.
right. Like, well, there's a Woody Allen piece, and again, this before the thing with his damn daughter. I hate it because once a bad thing happens, that's
And
all people will ever talk about.
Cosby on Prejudice, one of my favorite films of all times. Cannot watch it now.
No. So, okay, anyway, so in the 60s, one of his bits, which I did in my stand up comedy show, was don't get me wrong. I think sex between two people is a beautiful thing. Between four, it's fantastic. The pause between those two has to be exactly right, or you don't get the big laugh. It's the weirdest damn thing. Just a half a second more, you don't get the laugh.
Yeah, because it is too long. Too long.
Yeah, but there's no rules. Like you have to feel it, right?
Did you used to watch like Nichols and May and people like that?
Yes, the old Imogene
Fire
Coca
Sign
and Sid
Theater?
Caesar. Yeah, like the old 50s shows too.
Yeah. Oh,
I would
Ernie
watch like the
Kovacs. Ernie
oh
Kovacs.
yeah, Ernie Kovacs, Sid Caesar, Imogene Coca,
Oh,
who did
Imogen-
some of the best. All the comedy about men and women back there was like the marriage is crappy, and that's the joke, right?
yeah, yeah.
But they had one where they're arguing, and Sid Caesar picks up the phone. And he goes, "Hello, nah, yeah, me and the wife, we just had a fight. Yeah, married 7 years, first fight we ever had. Started 7 years ago." And I was like, "That's really funny."
Will Durst, I talked to Debbie Durst yesterday, who is a huge comedy influence on me, and her husband, Will Durst, who's a political satirist, much like Mark Twain, had this great line where he and his wife were married 40 some odd years, best 6 years of his life. You know,
Oh,
that
oh,
was
oh,
such a great line.
that's a great line. So it's the surprise, right?
Yeah,
It's
yes, the twist.
it's the catching, but you can't give them too long to think of it.
Exactly. Extended like,
But
hey.
you got to give it long enough for them to catch the initial thing.
Yep, the setup has to be strong.
Oh, you kidding me? I had a rough week. I went to the bartender. He said, "What do you want?" I said, "Surprise me. Show me a naked picture of my wife." So Rodney was like, I think the humor in him was like, he hardly gave you time to absorb the setup.
Yes.
So it was almost like a hiccup.
Yes.
Like, oh, oh, before you could catch it, he's like,
He,
joke two, three, four, joke two, three, four, joke two, three, four, joke two, three, four.
he and Jackie Mason both had that same rhythm.
Yeah, Jackie Mason was great like that. And then you get an old comedian like George Gobel who would take
I miss
forever,
George. And he's,
forever.
oh, who was the guy that did all the alcohol stuff on Merv Griffin? What was his?
Um, well, you're
Foster
not
Brooks.
talking about the piano guy,
Foster
Victor
Brooks.
Bourget, right?
No, not Victor Borga, who I adored, but Foster Brooks, who had come out there completely sloshed. And he
Foster
was,
Brooks,
yes,
back when alcoholism was funny.
yes, he and Dean Martin both had the big alcohol things.
They really did.
And it was all about,
Yeah.
and everybody's dad came home and had a highball at the time, so it was all part of the family joke.
And Newhart, who did the routines where he's on the phone and you don't even hear the other side.
Mhm.
Brilliant, brilliant
And
timing.
just the pot and okay, the pauses he would have, like
Yes.
so you'd believe that other person was there on the other line.
Oh yeah, you absolutely did. The thing he did with Sir Walter Raleigh calling to report tobacco.
Oh, do tell.
The discovery of tobacco, and he's like, what do you do with it, Walt? You put it in your mouth, and he then does this. He's looking at other people. He goes, and you set it on fire, and you pull the smoke into your lungs. Yeah, that's I think that's going to go over great, Walt. It was great stuff.
It was great stuff. I mean, part of the reason it's all about me now. Part of the reason that I love Phyllis Diller so much, she was my biggest hero, big monster hero. Like she and George Carlin were the first two records I ever heard, and then followed soon after by Red Fox's album "Wash Your Ass."
I've heard wash your ass.
Ah,
You
such
have
a
to wash your asshole, not your whole ass, but your asshole.
yes,
That
exactly.
was that was Red Fox. He made that distinction.
Oh,
Now,
he was
when you
so good.
just Lucille Ball.
Lucille, you know what? I always had problems. This is the problem I had with the three. If one of my friends, Jen Howard, to this day, I owe you money, Jen, and I am going to pay you back. If you ever just contact me. She is Mo Howard's granddaughter. And I stayed at our house one time, and I'm like, God, this Three Stooges crap is everywhere. What the hell? There's these guys, all they do is, bother each other and hurt each other. I hated it, this whole humiliate somebody else to make a laugh. I hated that because I was a picked on kid, so I thought it was personal. And if
Yeah.
she said it was her granddad, I almost okay, I'm gonna leave now. So,
So you were mentioning Lucy. So for that reason, you didn't like Lucy, or you
I
did like
didn't
Lucy?
like Lucy's a lot of her. If you met her in person, she was very hardcore businesswoman.
Oh
And I
yeah,
love that about her. She was very about her. I know how to do a film. I know how to get cameras in my she's the one who did 3 camera shoots for the first time.
that's
She's the one
right.
who did audiences into a live stage for the first time. So many things that she and Desi started that nobody else had done before. So her business acumen was beautiful, and her work prior to doing sitcoms was beautiful as well. It was very where can I go that's a stretch beyond what other women have done? When she would do singing and dancing on the circuit as a chorus girl, she stood out no matter who she was. Um, but later in life, her humor was more about, you know, putting it to somebody else. And it really kind of bothered me. And I said this to her, um, which I never thought I'd get a chance to. But I told her, I said, I really love a lot of your comedy. And she said, what, not all of it?
Oh, that is so Lucy, isn't it? So I heard this great story, and I don't know if it's true, but supposedly Lucy late in life is watching Carson, and Jack Benny's a guest doing his Jack Benny thing.
Yes.
And Lucy says to whoever was there reporting the story, says, Jack, you're losing him, you're losing him, you're losing him. So then she reaches out to Jack Benny and says, your timing was off in this, this, and this. And he says, Lucy, I've been doing this act since I was 12. I think I know my timing. And she said, bullshit, you were off. That's
He was probably dead on too.
that's a matron, baby. She knew her stuff, and he
Yep.
probably was off that night. But
That
she watched with such a critical eye from having done this so long that she was like, that timing's not right.
yep. And she was
Don't you know that drove people who worked with her crazy?
oh, I'm sure she must have been Madonna before Madonna was Madonna. Just I'm gonna be doing this and this is what it's gonna happen, and you don't like it because I'm a woman. Get over yourself.
Yep. On the original Sonny and Cher show, and I love that we're talking about. I never talk about all this stuff.
Oh,
Original
good.
original Sonny and Cher comedy. How Tony Randall was a guest,
Oh,
so they
another
did a
guy I love.
hippie sketch, and Tony Randall's very uptight, and he knew the script.
Yeah.
So Sonny starts like ad libbing, and Tony just it's a great clip because he's just staring at him, staring, and afterwards he reamed out Sonny and Cher for not sticking to the script.
That's
He said this was a funny bit,
oh,
and we had all the timing worked out, and you ruined it, and you made me look bad.
oh wow.
And he was furious. So it's yeah, Lucy probably would have been the same way about
She
sticking to the
probably would have been
script.
exactly the same way, I would guess. I
Like
don't think she ever
this,
did the Smothers Brothers show because of that. I
this
was
is the
friends with
script.
Ruth Buzzy, who I missed this minute.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I met her. We both have the nose and the chin thing, and the curly hair thing. Uh,
yes.
in Orange County, California, I was going antiquing with a friend, and I look over and I said, "Gosh, that woman looks just like Ruth Buzzy." Nah, and I just kept looking at stuff. I was, looking for swords for my Renaissance fair costume, and I was like, "Okay, that's cool. That's cool." God, she looks just like Ruth Buzzy. And next thing I know, there's this woman behind me, and she taps me. She goes, "I look just like Ruth Buzzy." To me, and I was like,
And
"Yeah,
it was her.
it was her." Yeah, she was
Oh
cracking me up. So we became friends because of the nose and chin connection. So
yes.
we had the Italian background. It's the same thing. So
What was she like? Was she nice?
sweetest woman in the world. Exactly. Those the Auntie Johnson sketches where she's hitting him with the purse. She reminded me of that on one occasion when I saw her smack her husband. I was like, oh, she is Ruth Buzzy.
That's great.
But very smart, very funny. Probably when she finally retired and moved to Texas, her personality kind of changed a bit. But she was very open to everybody. Like she would talk to everybody for hours if you let her. And I loved her to death. She was just a
So
sweetheart.
the way you have emulated some of your comedy idols and incorporated them into you and your act and your persona, that's what I've tried to do with horror. And for me, it's the old Universal. I wasn't around, of course, when they came out, but I saw them later.
Lon
Car
Chaney.
Cheney,
Yes.
Cheney Senior, Karloff, just the presence. Lugosi, who was a horrible actor, but he had the presence.
And he had so
Um,
much personality. So he was
Vincent
all
Price,
personality.
who
Who I
brought some,
still to this day adore, even his
he brought
cookbook.
some fun into what he did. So yeah,
Christopher Lee.
I've tried to bring aspects of all of those people into the little things that I've done, and it's fun, isn't it, to try to figure
You're a
if you.
marvelous mimic. You're such good. I mean, you're really good at the imitations and the mimicking. I'm really not that good.
I don't know, but yeah, it's really fun to do a scene, be handed. It's maybe the scene's not great,
uh,
but to think, okay, from the vast images in my head, what might work here? Like there's a way that Lon Chaney closed his hands when he had his hands up like this,
mhm.
down. I think it was down when Christine was like bitching at him, like, "Why'd you kidnap me?" Which was a legitimate complaint.
No kidding.
But
And
he
made
had
me
a
listen
way
to
that
opera. No.
it was one at a time, and it was as if each finger were individually animated. I can't do it now because I haven't practiced it in a while, but I used it in a film, and I was so proud that it came off because it was a beautiful moment. And I know that he used to practice stuff like that endlessly to get it just right.
That's perfect. When I
Yeah.
worked with tellers like that in Penn and Teller, I worked for them for 12 years. And
Ooh.
Teller's one of those guys where he would spend 7 to 10 hours just on the position of a chair. It's not supposed to be at this spot. Go back, see the lighting, come back, do it again, move. Go out. I'd see
Love
him
it.
constantly. He was wonderful, wonderful guy.
Hitting your light.
Yeah.
That's such a major thing. I mean, both on stage and on set. And it's the damnedest thing, especially if they've got the set lit just for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's this way when you're on stage and you're in stand up and you're in a spotlight. Or do you ever like are there ever worries like, oh, I'm not in the center of the light now?
Actually, when I'm not, I don't care because I tend to play more with the. I'm one of those people that plays with the audience more. So
Okay, so do you work in a stage wash or in spotlight?
I tend to work at Spotlight. Depends on the stage. It also depends on the theater because a lot of theaters don't afford spotlights. So
So you have to do a wash.
yeah,
Or
and
do
that
you ever
actually
get
works
chased?
better for me. So
Do you ever get chased like where they don't have a spotlight, but they'll say we can chase you, so they'll do like they've got a left, right, and a center.
yes, but now a lot of them are going computer, so they don't allow you to do that. They tell you where your
Ah,
marks have to be at certain times. Okay, you're announcing so and so at 7:05 p.m. You have to be at this X at that spot.
oh, that's bad, Auntie. That's bad because it used to be like when you had a spotlight guy or girl
Yep.
that you could feel them and they could feel you, right?
Yes. And now it's all computer. It's just
Like I did a Southern writer named Louis Grisard. He was unknown outside of the South, but huge, big ass in the South.
uh,
Did thousands of these shows, but you had to. The spotlight guy was or girl was really important because Louis would stand and you would be sure he was never going to move. But his Southern humor, so he moves on the punch.
of course, because that's the
Like
emphasis.
it's a long, long setup,
Uh,
and he'll say, like. I don't know how stupid you think we are, but Lucky Joe got $5 a piece from every one of them Yankees to see him wrestle his dog he painted to look like an alligator. Boom, I'm gone. If you don't move on the punch, you don't get the big laugh. So when I would have a spotlight guy who was lazy, boom, I'm gone. I would tell them, I would say, he's going to hang out a long time, but he
yeah.
moves on the punch.
Don't take a nap.
It's 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 so delicate,
It man,
so
it
delicate.
when you're on a film set, do you spend more time watching how the directors are placing things, or are you so into the story or the character that you don't worry about that stuff so much and just play into yourself?
No, I'm not that good. I mean, I do stay in character as much as I can, but I need to know where the lights are, why the lights are being set this way, and most of all, Auntie, I want to see the frame.
Hmm.
I don't want to bother them. Some actors are like, "What am I in now? Am I in a cowboy? Am I in a clothes?" And he said, "Just go look at the damn monitor."
Yeah, go see the dailies afterwards and make up your mind.
I slip
This,
around and look
this
at
is
the
Scrappy,
frame
by the way. He's my black child. Good boy.
because the frame, like the proscenium arch of a stage and the spill of lights, that'll tell you how you need to modulate, right?
Right.
Um, yeah, but it's the damnedest thing if you ever don't do that and you walk onto a set and then it becomes like a play.
Yeah.
And that's wrong because you don't have any idea what the frame is. You don't know what the intimacy is.
Hmm.
And another tough thing on sets is matching your performance. When you do the master, a lot of times you do 4 or 5 versions of a master and then they'll say, okay, that's our master. Well, you damn well better remember everything you just did
Oh, that's the worst
because
feeling in the world.
you've got to recreate it in the mid, the close, and a lot of times there'll be inserts. Did I
Yeah,
use this hand or this hand to
right.
pick up the ashtray or whatever
And
it was?
continuity does not always pick up that stuff.
No, a lot of times they don't know, and I've done mistakes in films like that. So I don't understand the people who can be on their phones up until the moment they walk on set. I can't do it. I have to be constantly thinking and rethinking where everything is.
See, I remember things physically. So when I'm saying a line, I have to physically do something to if I'm memorizing anything. Otherwise, my brain just goes, it just doesn't play with me.
Yeah,
So
that Michael Caine said that he would set up in a hotel room if he couldn't see the set, and he would move from point to point and do the
yes,
lines that way. I
yes.
I, I totally agree with him, but I'm with Betty White, who said, "Honey, when you come to set, that's not the time to learn your lines, sweetie.
Love her.
Know your damn lines. If
And
you want
she
to
was,
change them, you can talk to the director,
yep,
but know your lines because the other actors hopefully know theirs. And if you're just jacking around, you're wasting everybody's time.
right, right. Unless you're Robin Williams, then you can do anything.
Yeah, yeah, and this business of like right before you go on, oh, I only see what am I like? You should have known that at the beginning of the
That's
day.
your
You knew
job.
you
It's your
knew what the
job.
you knew what the shots would be.
Yeah. It's
I'll
like your
still
doctor
flub a
isn't going into
line,
your surgery going, oh, where's the knife thing? You
but if
know?
if I can't walk from the trailer or if there's a trailer or wherever it is to the set and say my lines
Hmm.
and sing them and recite them, if then I'm not ready for that scene.
Right. And nobody in this world has had a monologue so long that they couldn't remember something.
Did you see Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies?
Yes, and that is one of that actually you did have a very long monologue in there twice or
It
three
was a
times.
long monologue, and
Yes, that's very long.
it was not to be shot that day. And I made the mistake of not being off book because I said, well, it's not coming up. It's this is one of the first days we shooting. It wasn't on the call sheet, and I was like, I don't need to worry about that. And then our director was like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pick that up next. Like 5 minutes, guys. I was like, shit, 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 shit. So I grabbed I think it was maybe the script, the continuity, or maybe it was one of the producers, but I said, please walk with me. So I handed her the script and I said, are you a praying woman? And she said, no. I said, you are now. Dear God, please help me. And so she would read it to me and I said, stop me every time it's wrong. And so we just did it, 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 and then went in and did the take. But that was so
Is that
nightmarish.
the big one in front of everybody at the end when you're doing the whole big talk before? Oh, that was a beautiful script.
It's a nightmare. And it reminded me never do that again.
Well,
Never do
wait,
that
you
again.
did start with four score and seven, whatever, a while ago. So that was at least a good start to remember with.
I mean, Dolly Parton, when she did 9 to 5, famously learned everybody's lines.
Yes. But yeah, oh,
Not
another
a bad, not a bad idea. Sometimes
none.
what's fun to do with other actors is to say, let's flip lines.
Yes,
You
and that way
you
you
do
know
mine,
what
I'll
you're
do yours. And it
Yes.
freshens everything up.
Yep. Yep. That's
So what I guess what I'm saying viewers is that even if the film is crappy, a lot of work went into it. And a lot of people tried really hard to not make it crappy. So grade it gently.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, part of the reason why I do so many indie filmmakers in this podcast, we did the horror show, the anti-social horror-ish hour as well. And which this is actually going to be on both. And I tell people the independent filmmakers are using every dime they've ever owned in their entire life to make something
Yes,
for you. And you
that's right. And a lot of times they're not telling their spouses the money that they're spending. And they get a lot, right? Sometimes their marriage is
honey,
like,
where did our Xbox go?
oh God, I had to sell it, honey. You what?
Hmm.
Yeah. So if you have like a movie that's pretty good, but you've got one scene where the sound is bad, okay, probably on an indie, the
Yeah.
regular sound guy couldn't come
Yeah.
and somebody else did it and they didn't know what they were doing. So be gentle. Don't make that the focus of your whole criticism was the
Exactly.
bad scene of the one sound.
It's just bad when the director goes, okay, we liked the way that sounded when it was awful. Let's just do that the entire film. It's like, no.
Or one of my favorites is the sound is bad for a whole scene. And instead of doing the scene again, they're
Uh,
like, well, we'll just do ADR. No,
for those who are
no.
unaware, ADR is audio dialogue recording, and you go in there and you are trying to match your lips to what you are saying. Now, as an animator, I know how fun that is, but as a voice actor, I know how shit that is. So,
Yeah, you're here now. You've got the actors. Take the time, do the scene again.
yeah,
So, and also never start your your shoot with the easiest scenes and then work your way up to the complex because you're going to run out of time.
right? Well, a
If
lot
you've
of
got a
movies will
you got a
shoot
big
the final scene in mind. They'll shoot the final scene first sometimes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you got a big fight sequence or something, or anything that involves a lot of different angles, just go. I know the actors aren't going to like it because they're like, we're not emotionally there. Well, who cares? Who cares, Auntie? Get on it.
You're
And
acting.
but you have no idea how good it feels to get that big thing out of the way, and you're like, now we can relax.
And sometimes when you speaking from personal experience, sometimes when you're working with another person on stage or in film, and you're getting to know them, and you know that there's an intimate scene coming up, sometimes it's way more difficult when you're actually buddies with somebody than
I
when you're like,
fully agree. It's
oh
yeah, it's any kind of intimacy. It's much easier to do it first.
yeah, get it up, just like marriage, just get it over with at the beginning, and you don't have to worry about it for the next 20 years.
If you're gonna yeah like if you're gonna be bludgeoned to death naked, don't wait until later and you know everybody.
Yeah,
It'll be much easier if you just do it first
exactly.
as a way
Vanessa,
to
stop
say
looking at my
hi.
boobs. Yeah, exactly.
Here I am. Yeah, because later on then you'll be like, oh, John, I know the name of his wife and I know it, and all of this gets weird. So yeah, I'm just like plunge in and do it.
When you did Coyote,
Yeah,
you had some interesting scenes in that.
that was a wild ass movie, and the
And
director Trevor, it's a lovely art house film. I'd recommend it to people.
it's on Amazon right now. You can get it like it's
So
free rental right now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Trevor was so despondent when he finished the cut because he said nobody's going to watch this movie, and I said why? He said watching it feels like you're inside the head of a mentally ill person. I was like, Trevor, that's what horror people want. So to me, when I watch it, it feels mentally disturbed all around. We shot it in the hottest heat wave that St. Louis had ever had. So we were
Oh,
all really like
so all the
half
sweat was real sweat.
exhausted. Real sweat, real vomit, all bodily fluids real. Yeah,
Oh.
that's a weird movie.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites that you've done, just because there's so much going on in every single scene that a single look can change exactly what you're thinking this person is doing. So it's just, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was beautifully
I
shot,
like,
well
yeah,
acted, amazingly put together.
I like characters who are unreliable, that you don't know if their narrative is true or what they're saying is true. And I like it never to be resolved. I'm in the minority. Most people be like, I didn't know if you could trust him. I'd be like, well, that's the way it is in life.
Yeah, exactly. Give it some reality to it. Don't always put the Disney ending, although we love Disney.
Yeah. Like when that character is telling about his history or writing to his mother, I don't even know if his mother's still alive, you know?
I just assumed it was, yeah, somebody else.
All the things that are happening. In fact, sometime I watch Coyote and I think, oh, he imagined the whole thing.
Hmm.
None of it happened.
I just thought he was in a hospital the whole time or something, just doing,
He's right. The whole time he's in a hospital and he's just imagining it.
yeah.
I like that kind of movie. Dis with Adrian Corona was another one that was like that. It's Adrian's personal vision of hell is a place where you are completely alone, and that movie is like that too, where you don't really know if this crazy stuff is happening or not.
Guys,
And you know, people will write on IMDb, Auntie, about these kind of movies. I didn't understand it.
then you're not the target audience, are you?
Right. There are people who don't want to immediately understand. They want to
Hand
just
fed.
be given information
Nope.
and let it stew.
Yeah. The people that like things hand fed to them, I feel so bad for them. You grew up as a smart person. I'm one of those kids that was a little too smart for my own good. Graduated school way early and all that. Went to college way early. Um, and I always find that people that don't spend a lot of time observing the world around them miss out on so much because they just keep in their little tunnels, just like the things they like. I'm only going to have this particular thing every day.
Yeah, it's a trap. I mean, it's easy to get comfortable, but it's a trap.
Yeah. What type of are you going to write? Because you to me feel to me you feel like a writer in a lot of
Like
ways.
I do write. I write like little essays and things, but I haven't been able to write a screenplay because it's over in 5 pages because I hate exposition.
Ah,
And so, yeah, my screenplays are like, you have to figure out what's going on, and I just write the action, and that's not good. So I'm not a good screenplay writer. Uh,
but
but
you're
I,
excellent for scenes.
yeah, but I love like short form. Everything that I like to write is short form essays. I like playing around with words and spacing to get effects.
Mhm.
I write some things for my church. I've written some essays on Medium. So yeah, that's about it though.
I'm one of these days we're gonna drag a life story out of you or something because you're so articulate and you're so well spoken. Even when you were commenting in the emails, I thought this guy knows how to say things. He's not.
Well, I like email. I dislike text because I enjoy language. It's fun. And so a well-written sentence makes me smile.
Mhm.
And I want to write back a well-written sentence.
Sure,
And it staves off dementia too. So
that's true. Keep your brain
why
in good
not?
mood.
Yeah.
Now, you are like myself, a Bradbury fanatic.
Yeah.
So tell me about when you first discovered the Ray Bradbury.
I didn't know that Ray existed until I found a book in the woods. So I was a really angry boy because I felt ostracized. So, you know, that often turns into anger with guys. Anyway, so I was
Yeah. Oh,
lonely and
for girls
scared.
too.
Okay, and girls too. I was
Yeah.
angry, so I was pissed. So I used to go walk in the woods by myself and just be angry. And I was walking in the woods, angry. I'm sure having this inner dialogue about how horrible people were, and something caught the sunbeam came through the pine trees, and something glinted. And I looked down, and there's this book with a golden cover, and it was
Ah,
S's for space by Ray Bradbury. And on the cover, it was a picture of Ray, and he's looking up, looking up. And it looked like he was looking up past me up to the pine trees, and it made me look up. And I picked it up. Who's this? What is a Ray Bradbury? Somebody just left it here. And to open it up, the first story I read is called Pillar of Fire, and it's about the last dead man in the world. He's he's living inexplicably. He's alive, so he's a walking corpse. He wants more friends, which means he has to make more corpses. He's angry, Auntie. He's really pissed.
it was your
And
brother.
oh, he was great. The first lines of that story are he came out of the earth hating. Hate was his father, hate was his mother. I was hooked, baby. I was hooked because this was expressing what was in me. And that's how I came to love Ray. And then Ray went from expressing my anger to giving me hope because I read these beautiful stories like The Foghorn about the monster who only wanted to be loved, but they tricked him. As he saw it, they tricked him,
Yep.
and he lashed out. And over again, Ray had this way of putting humanity into fantasy, and yeah, I fell in love with him.
See, this is I knew we'd get along because of the way you read and interpret things. I'm just a big fan of yours. I just am.
Oh, thank you. You're kind.
No, you give a lot. You're a very giving. I don't feel like I'm getting a half-assed human being. You know how when you talk to people and you go,
I I do know that, and I always try to think, well, maybe the other half is really hidden, but sometimes maybe there's not another half.
yeah, or sometimes they're just so masked up. I have this when I first met the fella, we married on Friday the 13th this last December. When I first met him, it was funny because I called him out immediately saying, you know, I don't want to meet anybody who just spends their whole time putting bricks up in front of me so I don't get to see who they are. And I'm like, I don't know. And like 10 minutes later, he was himself immediately.
It's
Yeah.
it's true. There are people who will not let you see them, and it's really frustrating if you're a person, as I sense you are, who wants more than anything else to connect and to feel that
Yes.
you've really connected. It's not invasive. I don't want to invade you, but I want to connect with you.
Right.
Like the movies that I do, really they're because the director or somebody on the production team connected with me, and I feel, oh, it's a human being. I want to do this for them. I want to do this. I want to do this movie not because, oh, this might be a big movie, but because I like them and I want to help them support what they're doing. And it
Yes.
makes the work better.
Yes. And it makes it more important to you. If it's more important to you, it's going to be more important to them because they're going to see how much you care about it.
Yeah, it's true.
And I have this mantra: don't be an asshole in life. Don't be, don't be cool. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. Because
Right. You don't have to
it's so
dominate
easy.
all the time. If you're a person who really likes, dominating other people, don't do it all the time. Okay. Just start looking for opportunities to say, just this once, I'm not going to. And you might find that it feels good. And you might stop wanting to always dominate people, but you have to first make that one decision and say, this time, I'm not going to be the asshole. Just this once.
Just this once. Just try it. And
Right.
it's amazing what comes back to you when that happens. When you start to
It's so true.
there's a line I read an article about you not too long ago, but there was a line which kind of rung true with me. It's, I used to have a bumper sticker that says, "God, please hide me from your followers," because there are so many religious people around me. I'm an atheist, but I'm not, I'm like a Buddhist atheist, I guess. I believe in everybody should be part of the thing, not everybody should,
Yes.
you know. And my friends who are atheists saying, "Yeah, that's great. You're gonna put it to the church people." I'm like, "No, church people should be more of a community." That was my point. So not more of a,
Yes.
put it to the
However,
atheist
you
people.
know the tree by its fruit.
Yes,
If the fruit is kindness, empathy, love, compassion, the tree is good. The tree is good if that's the fruit. So I don't care what the tree is. This is my faith is the way that I find to get to kindness, empathy, compassion,
yeah,
love, without which I feel dead and empty. And if I meet somebody who has kindness, compassion, empathy, and love, I'm not going to ask them, "Hey, I know that what kind of a fertilizer do you use there?" You know,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
exactly,
matter.
exactly. If you're a good human being, you're a good human being. And
Right. And if you're a shitty human being, it
do you
doesn't
run
really
for
matter
president?
what it doesn't matter what you believe or you don't believe.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people will feel a lot kinder to each other in the world once this craziness is over that we have going on in the current state of
I
affairs.
agree. I agree. We've become one another's assumed enemies.
It's not a
And
baseball game. It's not teams. We're all,
no, it's not teams anymore. It's tribes.
yeah,
Um, it's a regression, and I long for that regression to halt.
yes. And I have a feeling because when you pull that that slingshot back far enough, it's gonna.
Always. It
It's
snaps every
yeah.
time. It's dry rotted somewhere. But it
Yep.
doesn't matter what slingshot it is, you know. You pull it
Yep.
too far, like we were talking about. You push the routine too long, you get a laugh and you want to stretch that laugh and you wait too long and it dies.
That's
You
it.
ever done that? Have
Yeah.
you ever been guilty of that, of milking the laugh too long?
No. Me?
And then and then it gets down to just a little chuckle and you're like, oh shit, I can never come back now from the
Yeah.
chuckle.
Oh, I one of my biggest gigs. One of my biggest gigs in the world. I was at the Comedy Store. I was doing a gig in front of one of David Letterman's people who I'm now friends with, who is going to be casting people to be comics on the show. And I'm doing this gig, and everybody's with me, and I'm doing my last bit. I'm like, I can do a bit past my last bit.
No. And it didn't work.
Oh, oh, there was a smell coming out of that place that only.
Stop, push away from the table before the feeling of fullness arises in your stomach.
Yeah, I should have said I couldn't eat another bite, but I did not.
Right. I couldn't eat. I know it looks great, but I just couldn't eat another bite. I
Oh, it was.
I've
I
done
was
it
just.
before. I've
Oh,
done it before on takes by going too far instead of just. There's that little inner voice that tells you that's it. Stop.
yep, yep, yep. And instead, I listened to the one going, "No, just show them how funny you are. One more." And I'm like,
Yeah, it's bad.
Suffice it to say, I'm still friends with that person, but I am never. The idea of me being on a late night TV show is probably never going to happen.
Uh, well,
I know.
I feel like I've talked you
I
and
was going to say, like,
your
but we've been
viewers
like,
to death.
this has been one of my longest but coolest conversations, and I feel like I've met my new best friend.
But people are going to be like, but he didn't talk about anything important.
I think you talked about a lot, mostly important things.
What? Jack Benny, Lucy, Rodney
Things
Dangerfield,
that matter to you as a human being. I think
love,
that's
empathy,
what this show's
kindness.
about.
What is he doing? What is he doing with the love, empathy, and kindness? How is this advancing his brand? Your life is in the toilet. The toilet. That's what they're saying.
This is
What are you doing with your life? That's
a
what they'll say.
celebrity say to me, "Oh, I'd love to do your show, but you don't have over 10,000 followers yet." I'm
You
sorry,
know what?
the people I care about are the people I care about. I will
I'd
someday.
love to
Your
do
opportunity.
your show, but you don't have to. That people actually say that.
Yes. Oh, and it was so funny because the next day, a bigger star than her signed up onto the show. It was really awful. And I wrote back and said, I appreciate you. I understand. I could do nothing to further your career. There's none of this. This is the asshole gene I did not have in LA when I was living in LA. I couldn't shake somebody's hands and what can you do for me? I couldn't do that. She could do that. I had none of that in my.
I didn't even know you had followers.
Oh yeah.
I don't. I don't. We're
Phil,
just
people
two.
love you.
We're just two people talking.
That's right. And you know what? I love having people over here what we're talking about because everybody matters to me. And that's cool.
Well,
So,
that's what I would say in closing. Is I know you have people listening who may have been told you don't matter.
yeah.
They may have been told it verbally, or they may have been told it by just the looks people have given them, or uh, the opportunities that have been presented. What I want to say to you is you matter. You matter, and the world needs you. And furthermore, you're not meant to, and I say to you that you don't get to just live your life in the most minimalist fashion. The world needs something that you have, okay? So you got to look inside yourself
Find
and
that
you're going to
sourdough.
find
Yep.
what is the thing that I have that I can do. What a writer I love called Frederick Buechner said that vocation is where what you love to do the most meets what the world needs most to have done. So don't let people tell you that you don't matter, but don't be a pissy bitch about it and say, well, they said I didn't matter, so I really don't. Get over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Start looking inside yourself and find that thing and just start doing it on this, even on a small scale. And don't expect it to be a career. Don't expect to get rich or famous. just do it because this is who I am, and I got to give myself back to the world somehow, and this is the way I do it.
Exactly. You matter. That's beautiful. Bill Oberst Jr. on the Antisocial Hour-ish show. You have been fabulous. I am honored to have spoken to you today. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot more. Maybe even have
Thank
you
you.
on the show again. Uh,
You're beautiful, and I love what we did together in this time. I think it might have some meaning beyond what it seems to.
I think so too. I have a feeling that, and all my socialites out there, you are welcome to come back again next week where we're going to talk to somebody else. But right now, watch this again because, it was worth it, I think. Uh, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thanks for coming to the Antisocial Hour show, and we will see you next time. Actually, we won't see you. You will see us.